Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Entertainment Brick Show. Today we are doing Phase 4. We're doing Phase 4. I'm finally going to finish this video, kind of finish off this little Marvel series here, just because we're not going to be having another Marvel Lego Phase video for a little while, because we just basically began Phase 5 at the time of this recording, and it's going to go for like 2 years, so I got a little while before I have to make another one of these. But I never finished Phase 4. And I need to get that done, obviously. And I did promise, some people in the comments that it's coming, it's happening, and I'm recording it right now. It's going to be there soon. Not necessarily soon, but because there's a lot of stuff going on these weeks of February. But this is the Phase 4 video. So I did a video on the Disney Plus shows and Disney Plus projects that came out in 2022 for a video, which was like the Phase 4 kind of shows for 2022, whatever. So that's all done. That's all finished. But now we gotta do the movies, because originally when I made that video, Black Panther hadn't come out. I kind of held off watching Black Panther. I don't really know why, to be honest with you. I just didn't have time to go to the theater and go see it. So now that it came out on Disney Plus, I was able to watch it a little bit more like easily, and I was able to see it. I thought it was pretty solid. I thought it was pretty good. I'm kind of falling off of Marvel movies a little bit personally. I mean, I'll still watch them, but I don't think I'm going to be, securing my tickets for the day of release like I used to do, I guess. Just because a lot of these movies, I don't know, they're getting a little old. But I'm not here to talk about my opinion on Marvel movies. I'm here to give you guys the Phase 4 level ideas for the Lego Marvel Infinity Saga video game. So we got seven movies here. It's going to be a longer one, I think. This is definitely going to be a longer one, because there's a lot going on here. But we're going to be running through Black Widow, Shang-Chi, Eternals, No Way Home, Spider-Man No Way Home, Doctor Strange, Multiverse of Madness, Thor Love and Thunder, and then ending with Black Panther, Wakanda Forever. So I just want to get right into this, because again, this is probably going to be a long video for me to record, and it's like 10:30 at night right now, so I want to go to bed really bad. So let's get this going. I'm ready. Here we go. Alrighty, starting off with one level from the Black Widow movie. I personally really didn't like this movie. I thought it was pretty bad, but anyways, we're making a level off it. So starting off with part 1 here. Oh, I forgot to explain the rules. The rules are I basically made like levels for Lego Infinity Saga video game, and basically each level has 3 parts, and you can play as characters. I'll explain the objective, etc. That's basically all you really need to know. Anyways, so starting off with part 1, and this is the scene when Natasha Romanoff and Yelena Belova kind of meet again in like that apartment, and where I want to say it was. Did they meet in Budapest? I don't think that's right, but I don't know. They met in some apartment. Anyways, so you're gonna be playing as Natasha Romanoff, and from the Black Widow movie, and also Yelena Belova from the Black Widow movie. And the objective here is to escape the Black Widow. So basically in this scene, after Natasha and Yelena fight each other, a bunch of Black Widows get kind of called to their area, and they have to basically run out and escape from them, chasing after them to try and get them, because the villain, Dreykov, wants to go after Natasha and Yelena. So basically both of them have to escape through the apartment, and kind of there's this scene where they jump onto another side of a building and stuff like that. So basically you're going to be playing through that. It's going to be kind of like a roof jump escape kind of scene, basically. So wherever that city was, I forget what city they were in again, but wherever that city was, you'll start in the apartment, and you have to kind of find a way, do a puzzle to kind of figure out a way to open the window or something like that. And then you kind of jump out the window, and then it leads into rooftops that you just kind of have to run across and jump across, and you'll have to fight Black Widows along the way. And then you get to that scene where you jump, where they jump onto the other side of the building, or some sort of smokestack or whatever it was. I actually forget. I haven't watched this movie in a long time, because I made this a while ago when I first saw the movie a year ago, or no, probably more than, no, I don't actually remember when it came out, but around that time. So point is, I don't remember it as much. And, they jump onto something. They jump onto, either a smokestack or a side of the building, whatever it is. They jump on that. So that's part 1. Part 2 is the Red Guardian. This is his escape here. So you play as Black Widow in her white suit from the movie when they did the prison escape. And then also Red Guardian in his prison outfit. I mostly it's just going to be him, David Harbour, right? David Harbour, I think he I want to say he was like shirtless in the prison and stuff like that. So you just be playing him in his kind of like prison look. And the objective here is to escape the prison facility that's kind of having like avalanche problems. It's having a breakout problem. So tons of things going on. So I'm kind of just thinking that when this prison was kind of shaped like I think it was like a hexagon from what I remember, and there was like a bridge in the middle of it. So you just be kind of playing around this area. You'll be kind of going around the hexagon, solving puzzles, fighting guards and stuff like that, and then eventually get to that middle bridge. Like you'll have to find a way to get to the middle bridge part, and then be able to escape from the prison with Yelena dropping down the hook or the anchor, whatever, to escape. I mean, there's gonna be prisoners running everywhere. There's gonna be guards running everywhere trying to stop you. So it's gonna be much more of an action kind of sequence of this level as you just kind of try and traverse your way through this prison area to try and reach this middle bridge section. But yeah, so there you go. That's part 2 there. And then part 3 is the Red Room, which is obviously the end of the movie. So you play as, actually, this is going to be utilizing that Lego Star Wars The Clone Wars, 2 different sides to you switch characters, you switch settings kind of thing. I got to find a name for that. I got to, come up with some sort of, acronym or something so that I don't have to keep saying that. But anyways, on one side, you play as Black Widow in the actual, movie outfit suit, the actual black suit that's from the movie, though. And then the objective there is to have a boss fight with Dreykov, which is, the leader of the Red Room, or the Black Widows, kind of. And basically, he'll just kind of be I picture it as in that office room that she was in. He'll just kind of be off in the back area on top of the desk or something, standing there and just whatever, not really doing much. And he'll just kind of keep sending out Black Widows to kind of come and get you as you try and solve certain puzzles to kind of hit him off the desk or something, or I don't know. I don't want to say you have to solve puzzles to find a way to break your nose, because that's kind of how they defeat him, but I don't think that's how Lego's gonna work that. I think they would just probably find a way to you have to solve a couple puzzles to get him off the desk, or get up close to him to eventually hit him or something. I don't know, but yeah, so one side you play as Black Widow in a movie outfit, trying to have a boss fight with Dreykov, which is mostly just a bunch of Black Widows coming after you, and then you have to kind of find a way to hit him or get close to him and hit him. Basically, is kind of how I'm imagining it. On the other side, though, you can play as Yelena Belova from the movie, Red Guardian, the actual Red Guardian outfit, and then Melina Vostokov, which I believe is how you pronounce that, which is Yelena and Natasha's mother. And the objective there is to have a boss fight with Taskmaster, because through most of that ending sequence with these 3 characters, you have there's a fight with Taskmaster, basically in the prison area, and then they go out to the helipad area, and then they do the falling sequence where you have to kind of fight Taskmaster down there too. So yeah, with those 3 characters, Yelena, Red Guardian, and Melina, you fight Taskmaster in the prison, most likely. I don't really know how it would work. I'm just kind of picturing the prison hallways, basically, with a bunch of people kind of running through and stuff like that, a bunch of different guards and Black Widows running through, and they'll kind of jump in to kind of help out Taskmaster once in a while. So you have to fight some enemies, some common grunt enemies, and then you also just have to focus on fighting Taskmaster as well. And I'm thinking Taskmaster maybe runs through the entire facility. So instead of just staying in one stagnant area, you'll be kind of running throughout the entire facility to kind of fight Taskmaster. I don't know, just a thought. But anyways, that is Black Widow. Let's move on. This is already going on for a long time. Next up is Shang-Chi. I actually like this movie. That's pretty good. I liked it. It was kind of a standard Marvel movie, but I thought it was pretty good. I enjoyed it. I liked it. Anyways, starting out with the part 1. This is a part that I think would be kind of tough to do if they actually made this video game. But when on paper, it sounds great. And that's the Razor Fist on the bus kind of scene where Shang-Chi, you play as Shang-Chi, of course, and you also play as Katie, who is Awkwafina in that movie. And the objective there is to kind of have a boss fight with Razor Fist and the Mandarin Goons. But then again, you're fighting on a bus. So I don't know exactly how great this will go, just because the setting is very small and thin, and you're having a full-blown boss fight is the idea. So again, I don't know exactly how this is going to go. I'm thinking, in the movie, if you haven't seen the movie, the bus is 2 sections, kind of. There's one section where the driver can be, and there's also passengers that can be there. and then there's like a little like in between section, and then there's the back section where mostly just passengers stay. So I'm kind of picturing like you start off in the front section as Shang-Chi and Katie, and you have to fight a bunch of Mandarin goons. And, once you defeat them, then, like, the doors open, and then you can go to that second section of the bus, which is where Razor Fist is. And then, like, he does, like, the whole scene where he, like, takes off his cloak, and then has, like, his blade as a hand. And then, he's kind of like this, like, little scene in the middle. And then you have a boss fight with him. But again, I don't know exactly how it's going to work just because of how small the area or the setting of that fight is going to be. So I don't know exactly how it would be structured, but yeah, regardless, on paper, it sounds like a great idea because it'd just be kind of a unique idea. Maybe you can like run around the bus area to kind of find ways to get, like, to reach Razor Fist, sort of. Like you maybe like punch out a window or something, like breaks a window, and then you like have to jump and like climb on like bars and stuff, and then you have to like crash through the window to like hit him, and then you get pushed back and you have to find another way to like go up on the roof and then drop down on them. I don't know. There's definitely some things that they can maybe do here, but regardless, I think it would be kind of tough to do. Anyways, part 2 is Shiling's Fight Club, which is of course Shang-Chi's sister. So this will also be using the Lego Star Wars, the Clone Wars, change character, change setting kind of deal. I like to use that a lot because it's so useful. It's so useful. They got to bring it back. Anyways, one side, you will be playing as Shang-Chi, and the objective is to defeat the Death Dealer. So in the scene, when they're all kind of escaping the Fight Club, basically, at the end, towards the end, Shang-Chi gets into a confrontation with the Death Dealer in like this, I don't know, like this part of the skyscraper that looks like it was being like having construction done on it or something. Kind of looks like that a little bit. So I'm figuring you're just gonna be fighting in there, just kind of having like a full blown boss fight. The Death Dealer will be bringing out some goons, some Mandarin goons to help him and fight him. And then you'll also have like after defeating a certain amount of goons, then the Death Dealer will come back out and you have to fight him and beat him, whatever. And then on the other side here, sorry, my dry throat here. Xiling and Katie will be running through the scaffolding and fighting goons. So obviously, this is kind of the main draw of this scene was the scaffolding sequence where a bunch of these Mandarin goons were coming out and fighting Shang-Chi and Katie and Xiling on these scaffolding, basically, on all this scaffolding on the side of the building. And why not, translate that into the Lego, because that was kind of the main area. But yeah, so as Xiling and Katie, you're going to be running through the scaffolding, just kind of making your way up the scaffolding, fighting goons, solving like very small, simple puzzles on this thin little area to kind of find your way and climb all the way up is basically the goal here. So yeah, that's part 2. Part 3 here is the ending, of course. We're going to skip right to the ending, which is the 10 Rings. You'll be playing as Shang-Chi and Xialing, and the objective here is to defeat the Dweller of Darkness with the Great Protector. So I'm going to kind of skip the Wenwu fight, or the Mandarin fight, just because I think it's not going to be as interesting as this. Maybe? I don't know. Although that was kind of a cool fight in the movie. But basically, Shang-Chi has new abilities. He has the 10 rings to utilize now. And Xialing will have the blade on the rope, or whatever, that dagger on the rope weapon as well. And the objective here is that basically you're going to start on the bottom, or the tail of the Great Protector, which is like the dragon that they use to fight the giant enemy at the end of the movie. So you'll start on like the tail end of the Great Protector, and you'll kind of make your way up its body and like fighting, different the demon creatures that were like flying and awful looking. You fight them and you defeat them as you're kind of going up here, and you have to like basically get rid of little spots that are full of like the demons kind of biting at the Great Protector to kind of make it stronger. I don't know, there was like a lot of scenes where like the Great Protector was being attacked by like the flying little demons while it was trying to fight the Dweller in the Darkness. So basically you're going to be, going to different spots, like going to like the leg and like having to like balance yourself and not fall off the Great Protector as you like go to its leg and like try and fight a bunch of the little demon things that were biting at it. And then, yeah, that's kind of the idea. And then once you like kind of reach the top of the head, then the cutscene begins. You fight the Dweller of Darkness, or maybe there's even some sort of like quick time event sequence or something like that to like fight the Dweller of Darkness, just to kind of have some playability in that end sequence. But I don't know. That's kind of what I'm thinking. Anyway, that's part 3 basically. So that's Shang-Chi. let's move on to the Eternals. Next up is the Eternals. I didn't like this movie personally. Another Marvel movie I am not a fan of, but regardless, I made a level on it, so here we go. The Eternals, starting out with the beginning scene where Icarus returns. So you're going to be playing in this part. This is kind of the scene where Icarus returns, and that deviant was kind of like running through that little town or city or whatever. So, good thing actually about this is that they have so many characters that you're going to be playing as a lot of characters like in the parts of the levels. So that's kind of fun, but regardless, I still wasn't a crazy fan of the movie. So you'll be playing as Sprite, Dane Whitman, Cersei, and Icarus. So those 4 characters, and you're going to be running around that little city town area, and the objective is to have a boss fight with that deviant, that first deviant that was kind of in the water, and then it came out and stuff like that. So I didn't want to just make this like a standard boss fight where you're just in one area. So the idea is that you'd play as Sprite, Dane Whitman, and Cersei at the beginning, and you'll be, I think it was like under a bridge or something, or along the docks or whatever. The deviant reveals itself, and then it just kind of starts, jumping out of the water and trying to fight you and whatever. So as those first 3 characters, you'll be fighting the deviant like in the water on the dock area, and then it will kind of jump out after it like loses a life point. Then it jumps out and it lands on the road, and then you have to find your way up to the road, and that's where Icarus is. So then Icarus kind of joins the team, and then these 4 characters again, Cersei, Dane Whitman, Sprite, Dane Whitman, Cersei, and Icarus, those 4, now you're playing as 4, all kind of fight the deviant along the road, and kind of like that's when you see the scene where Icarus uses his laser eyes, and it shoots the deviant into the store front, whatever, and then it like kind of collapses on him, he beats up the deviant, whatever. So basically it's going to be a boss fight with this deviant throughout kind of like the area that they were in the movie. So, I don't know, just kind of make it a little bit more interesting instead of just staying in one spot. Similar to like the Taskmaster boss fight. Just kind of make it a little more interesting. You know what I mean? Then part 2 is Druig's Forest. That whole scene, of course, this had to be a part because there was so much fighting and action. I was going to be using the Lego Star Wars The Skywalker Saga change character, change setting area. On one side, you'll be playing as Cersei, Sprite, Druig, and Kingo. And on the other side, you'll be playing as Icarus, Thena, and Gilgamesh. You're basically playing as most of the team here, and they all have different powers, so it'll be definitely a wide variety of play here. And the objective is to defeat all those deviants in the woods. Both sides have the same objective here. Basically, if you haven't seen the movie, not recommended, so you could probably skip it. But if you haven't seen this movie, basically what happens is they're in like this forest area with this guy who can like mind control a bunch of people, or have mind controlled a bunch of like a village basically. And then all the deviants kind of show up in this one little area, and there's like 4 or 5 of them that they gotta fight. Like Icarus is flying through the sky trying to fight one. Gilgamesh and Thena are trying to fight one. Then like Cersei's like underwater fighting one. So everybody's fighting a different deviant here. And the objective and what happened in the movie is you're basically just gonna have to fight all of them. All of them are just gonna come at you at once. I'm kind of picturing it like with the I think it was the Pet Renaki Panic from Lego Star Wars The Skywalker Saga, was like the Geonosis Arena level, where in the beginning, once you kind of broke free from the chains, you were able to fight any 3 of the monsters, like the Accolade, the Nexu, and the Reek. You could choose between, like, if you just approached one, their health bar would kind of pop up. I'm kind of thinking maybe of doing it that way, where, like, if it was like the Flying Deviant, if you went near the Flying Deviant, its health bar would pop up and you'd fight it. But then if you went near the Underwater Deviant, then that health bar would pop up and you would fight that. If you went near, whatever deviant was another deviant, you know what I mean? It's kind of like if you approach it, then you're probably going to get into a boss fight with it, kind of. And then if another one kind of stops you midway through, then you'll be fighting that one. So I don't know. I just thought that would be the easiest way to do it, just because there is so many kind of deviant bosses kind of coming at you at once in this scene. Then for part 3 is the ending scene. Spoiler alert if you haven't seen the ending of Eternals and you are interested in seeing the end of the Eternals, but this is also going to be utilizing the Lego Star Wars The Skywalker change character, change setting thing also. And on one side, you'll be playing as Cersei, Phastos, Druig, and Makari, and the objective here is to defeat Icarus. Again, spoiler alert. I did say it beforehand this time. I made sure to. Spoiler alert, Icarus is the villain. So you're going to be fighting Icarus on, like, I don't know, was it a volcano? Was it a volcano or a mountain or something on an island? Forget exactly what it was, but you'll be fighting Icarus, boss fight with Icarus on that, beach island, volcano mountain. Maybe that's what it is. All four of them combined. And then on the other side, you'll be having a boss fight with Crow as Thena in the cave. So, yeah. Now you get like two different characters to play as. Here you get Fastos and Makari. So, you get some different characters to play as, which is exciting. And again, you're gonna be having a boss fight with Icarus, and he'll be flying around using his laser eyes and stuff like that. You'll have to kind of avoid them and find ways to get Icarus, grounded, and then go up to him and hit him, and then he'll fly back up and use his laser eyes again. So it's probably gonna be kind of styled like that. And then again, on the other side, you play as Thena. And the objective there is to defeat Crow, which is one of the deviants who kind of came to life, sort of. And you'll be in the cave area, and as Thena, you have to just fight Crow, basically. It'll be a pretty standard boss fight, but, whatever. But yeah, two boss fights in the Eternals level, and that is it for the Eternals. Now we get to No Way Home. This is a good movie. No Way Home was good. Next up, we have Spider-Man No Way Home. Flat out gonna say right here, if you haven't seen Spider-Man No Way Home, do not watch this. I am going to be spoiling the entire movie, basically. Because my entire movie's great. I love this movie. It's actually a good movie. Really, really good Well, it was a good movie because it was a bunch of nostalgia. So, you could probably already surmise what happens in the movie just from that. But anyways, yeah, major spoilers. If you haven't seen Spider-Man No Way Home and want to, don't watch this. Anyways, now we're going to get into it. Part 1. Doc Ock on the bridge. Of course, this is basically what it states here. Doc Ock on the bridge. And you'll be playing as the Iron Spider suit, and from No Way Home. And considering there wasn't another character to play as, and LEGO has like the 2-player co-op rule, I just decided to throw Doctor Strange in here because throughout the rest of the level, you don't really play as Doctor Strange, and even though he's a very kind of like vital part of the movie here, yeah, Doctor Strange gonna be in this just cause mostly, and he'll be just the other character to play as. I don't really know how else you want to explain it. You should be playing as Iron Spider, No Way Home, and Doctor Strange in his No Way Home look, I guess. And the objective here is to have a boss fight with Doc Ock. So I'm figuring, I like changing the settings of my boss fights here. I like to kind of switch it around a little bit. So this is not to say that this is really going to change the setting too much, but in the movie there were like kind of like 2 lanes of the bridge. So I'm figuring that you've kind of on like the left lane, you fight Doc Ock on the left lane as Iron Spider and Doctor Strange, and then once you bring Doc Ock to a certain amount of hearts, then you'll move over to the right lane, or vice versa, however it was done in the movie. And then you move over to the right lane, and then you have to fight him again, and knock down a few hearts, and then maybe like in the middle, and at the third kind of stage of this boss fight, so maybe he'll like jump up on the sign, and then you have to kind of like go in the middle and kind of try and stop him, or go in between both left lane and right lane to kind of find ways to stop him. I don't know, just to kind of switch it up a little bit. Don't keep it in one little area, But yeah, first thing is defeat Doc Ock. Or just having a Doc Ock boss fight is the beginning here. Then for part 2, this is the apartment scene or whatever. I think there was an apartment. Wasn't it Happy Hogan's apartment? Yeah. So the the apartment scene where everything kind of goes bad, basically. You'll be playing as Iron Spider in the No Way Home kind of look, and you'll also be playing as Aunt May in her No Way Home kind of look, just because there was no other proper secondary character to play as. It's kind of a boring character to play as. I know you're not playing as a cool superhero, but she was important. She kind of did something important, and there was important scenes with her. And the objective there is to defeat Green Goblin, right? So Green Goblin, of course, Willem Dafoe's Green Goblin kind of goes nuts. He does the whole Norman's on sabbatical scene, and then he just starts walloping Spider-Man Peter Parker through walls and beating the crap out of him and stuff like that. And then eventually they both get down to ground level where Aunt May's trying to escape, and Spider-Man's trying to fight get up to fight Green Goblin and stuff. So you'll be playing as, again, Iron Spider and Aunt May, and the objective is to defeat Green Goblin. And there you go. You should be on that ground level. There's going to be a bunch of rubble around. You're going to have to kind of make your way up to Green Goblin. This is going to be a boss fight that's going to take place in one area, because this is kind of like the most important area where his boss fight happened. Then, again, major spoilers. If you didn't take my first warning, or my first 10 warnings, this is the next warning. Spoiler alert, Aunt May dies. So then you get to the cutscenes of when Aunt May is, killed by Green Goblin, and then Peter's like, no. And yeah, that's basically after you defeat Green Goblin, but then, you don't actually defeat him because he's still around. Anyways, So yeah, that's part 2. Then part 3 is the the ending basically, and this is gonna after my 20 spoiler alerts for this entire part of the second part of the video. This is another major spoiler alert if you haven't seen it, and this is where you play as Iron Spider, No Way Home, and this is the whole ending scene basically. You play as Spider-Man, Tobey Maguire from No Way Home, and you play as Spider-Man, Andrew Garfield, No Way Home. Of course, you had to do this, right? This had to happen if there was going to be a Spider-Man No Way Home level. There's got to be a part in that level where you play as all 3 Spider-Men at once, and and just have a bunch of boss fights, which is literally what this is. So the objective here is to first off defeat Lizard, Electro, and Sandman. So it's going to be a three character boss fight here. So 3 Spider-Mans, 3 villains. Maybe you start off fighting Lizard on like some scaffolding, then you move to like kind of the middle section, you fight Electro, and then you kind of move to like the end section to fight Sandman. But regardless, you're going to be fighting all 3 of them. And then, I think I'm going to sneeze. Hold on. Never mind. It's slowly coming up. Sorry. If I go away from the mic for a minute, it's because I have to sneeze. I don't know if that mic picked up, but I just sneezed. Anyways, you defeat Lizard, Electro, and Sandman. First off, those are the first 3 bosses that you fight. Then you move on and basically go to that whole ending scene where Peter and Green Goblin are fighting. Like the sun is coming up, and they're on like a part of the destroyed Statue of Liberty. I think that's what it was. And then they're all like the sunset's coming up and whatever. And then you think like Tobey Maguire just got stabbed and died or whatever, but he didn't. Just his back hurts. So yeah, then they just fight Green Goblin basically. And that's the ending boss fight. You just fight Green Goblin on top of that little like that whatever they were on. Really, I don't even remember what they were on in the water and with the sun coming up and stuff like that. So 4 boss fights in one part. Just because how perfect that whole ending scene was. It was great. So yeah, there you go. That is Spider-Man No Way Home. Now let's move on to Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness. Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness. I didn't like this movie. I'm not a fan of Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness personally. Anyways, I still made a level on it. So starting off here, we're going to start with this beginning. Oh, spoilers. This should flat out just be all spoilers going forward. Spoilers at the start too. There was always spoilers for all the movies here. So you haven't seen them, you should know what you're getting into when you walk into a Phase 4 video, basically, I think, personally. Anyways, Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness, here we go. Part 1. You'll be playing as Doctor Strange in his, Multiverse of Madness kind of look from the beginning here. And you'll also be playing as Wong in his Multiverse of Madness outfit or kind of look design. I don't know if it's very different, but I just wanted to specify that just in case it is. And the objective here is to defeat Gargantos, who is kind of like this beginning demonic-looking creature villain from the beginning. I think I said beginning twice in that sentence. But anyways, this is the scene where actually pretty cool scene. I actually like this scene a lot, where Doctor Strange is like in a tux, and then he just kind of like jumps over the ledge, pulls out like a napkin, kind of what I thought was like a little napkin or whatever thing in his tuxedo, but it was actually the cloak of levitation. That doesn't sound right. No, that's right. Cloak of levitation. He pulls it out and like puts it on, and then bam, he's like all Doctor Stranged out. Pretty cool. It was actually pretty cool. And this is where like America Chavez shows up, and that whole scene brings Gargantos with her, and then Gargantos is kind of going crazy, and trying to, then Doctor Strange and Wong have to kind of go fight him. We gotta go take care of Gargantos. So it's basically just gonna be a giant boss fight in the streets of New York City. But again, like I said, Doctor Strange and Wong are gonna be fighting against this giant, tentacle creature. So you kind of start, like, I'm thinking to make it a little different. Start out on the street. That's kind of where you fight him first, and then you have to like defend from stuff that he's throwing at you. Then you have to hit him, with blasts and beams and things like that, and whatever to kind of defeat him. Then you kind of move up like a building, maybe like the side of a building to kind of make it interesting, and that's where you have to kind of fight him. Because if I remember clearly, like I think they find a way to like pop out his eye or something like that when he's on top of a building. His like eye like lands on the street or something like really gross, but yeah, that's basically what's going to be recreated here in this boss fight. You'll be kind of moving through the streets of New York, up the side of a building. I don't know if it was the Empire State Building. It may have, but, or not. Empire State Building. I don't remember if it was that, but I know it was one of the buildings, one of the large skyscrapers. And you'll kind of move up this building, and then you have to kind of find a way to defeat him, like one final hoorah. And then part 2 is the Illuminati HQ. Again, the major spoilers here. I gotta stop saying spoilers. I already established it multiple times. Anyways. You'll be playing as Doctor Strange in his, Multiverse of Madness look. You'll be playing as America Chavez, and you'll be playing as Christine Palmer from Earth 838. That should be specified just in case. And as those three characters, you're basically going to be escaping the Illuminati headquarters as Wanda's kind of going crazy. So, there was that whole, quote unquote jump scare scene, which didn't actually get me. I was surprised it didn't get me, but because I kind of felt like it was coming, where Wanda kind of like comes from the side of the screen and like, rah, whatever. But, yeah, I didn't really like this movie, as you can clearly tell. Anyways, the goal here is in the Illuminati headquarters as Wanda's like wiping out the entirety of the Illuminati. These three characters, Doctor Strange, America Chavez, and Christine Palmer, are all trying to escape Wanda because they know they really can't defeat her. So you're just going to be kind of running through the entire facility of the Illuminati headquarters, and the goal is just to escape. Like, they go to like this, you'll first start off in like the main area, then you'll kind of go down to the sewer area. Maybe Lego can kind of implement some of these horror elements. Maybe not as graphic as it was, but maybe some of the horror elements from this movie, like kind of maybe similar to what they did with Lego Dimensions, with like the Weeping Angels kind of like doing the somewhat of a jump scare. I wouldn't even call it a jump scare, but like that, quote unquote scary sequence. Maybe they could do that with Wanda. I don't know. Just to kind of add some of that horror aspect. But again, you'll be going down to the sewers. Although, you know what? They did do a jump scare with Venom from Lego Marvel Superheroes. So maybe that's it. Maybe they could do that. That still scars me whenever I play that game. I remember playing that game in 2014 when I was really little, and oh man, that scared me so bad. I didn't see it coming either because I was so little. Anyways, in Illuminati HQ, you go down to the sewer area, you try and escape Wanda. That's basically what's going on here. Then part 3 is, of course, the ending fight, where you fight Scarlet Witch. You'll be playing as America Chavez and Doctor Strange as a zombie, because that was kind of at the end of the movie. He was zombie possession, and then you fought Scarlet Witch that way. And the objective there is to defeat Scarlet Witch. You're going to be having a boss fight. In the world, in the universe that we're in the Earth that we're in, Wanda is kind of like in this mountain, snowy mountain. I forget what it's called. I know it. I think there was a comic name behind it, and I just forget what it's called. But Wanda's kind of like trying to get some information from Wong for a little bit, doing a couple other things with like these giant like rock-looking guards or whatever. From what I remember, I think that's what it was. And you're basically gonna be having a boss fight there. Wanda's gonna be kind of like in the middle, I'm thinking, and she's gonna have like all like a giant dome around the arena. Very similar. I'm kind of picturing it similarly to the Avengers Age of Ultron boss fight at the end, where you play as Thor and Vision, and you have to fight Ultron, and like he's in the middle flying around. You can kind of like go around the entire circle area to kind of fight Ultron. I'm kind of picturing it that way. Instead, it's just gonna be in this mountain area with Wanda in the middle, kind of like shooting blasts and beams and stuff like that at you, and then you just kind of have to run around to find different spots to kind of like take Wanda down and then hit him or hit her or whatever. So that's kind of how I'm picturing it, but yeah, that's Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness. Now realizing how long of a video this is going to be, but we got two movies left. So we're first of the two. Thor Love and Thunder, Thor 4 level here. I'm going to get right into it because I want to try and wrap this up. It's getting late. So part 1 is the new Asgard part, right? This is when you play as Thor in his outfit from, Love and Thunder. I'm thinking you're going to maybe have the helmet in this part. He had like a really weird looking helmet in that movie. I did not like this movie, by the way. I did not like this. And you'll also be playing as Jane Foster in her Love and Thunder outfit, which is just, kind of like a Thor outfit, but still wanted to, make that clear. And the objective here is to save New Asgard from Gore's shadow beasts. So I'm kind of thinking maybe you'll kind of I'm thinking it's going to be like a lot of people, like a lot of NPC characters trying to fight some enemies and stuff like that, like different shadow creatures and stuff like that within the town of New Asgard. And as Thor and as Jane Foster, you're going to be kind of like making your way through like different circular arenas basically made up from the crowds of people, kind of similar to like war sequences in Lord of the Rings and like The Hobbit and stuff like that, how you would kind of be like your own little area while all these other enemies were kind of fighting each other basically. That's kind of how I'm picturing it, but instead it's going to be a bunch of citizens of New Asgard trying to fight off the zombie creature, or the shadow beasts, while as Thor and Jane, you'll be kind of in the middle, sort of. And there'll be like shadow beasts that kind of come after you out from the crowd, and then you kind of have boss fights with certain ones. I know there was like the one that I just remember in particular, because I thought it was kind of like the cooler one, was like the giant cage that was kind of like a mouth, basically. It was kind of cool. It reminded me of something out of Gravity Falls a little bit, so, maybe you can have like a boss fight with that one. I mean, I definitely remember he had more than one, so you could have just a boss fight with any of them. Maybe if that's how it's gonna go, or you just kind of run through these different crowds, fighting off these shadow beasts and stuff like that, and trying to help people to escape from these beasts. But anyways, that is part one mostly. Then part two is the meeting of the gods here, where you'll be playing as Thor, again, in his Love and Thunder outfit, except probably this time without that goofy helmet. Valkyrie in her outfit from Love and Thunder. Jane Foster, again, from the Love and Thunder outfit. And Korg as well. Because this is before Korg kind of got destroyed. Korg is, Love and Thunder outfit, because I think he actually did have a different outfit. And the objective here is to have a boss fight with Zeus. Zeus I really didn't like in this movie, but, it was kind of easy to make a boss fight out of him just because he was kind of an enemy in the middle of the movie there. So I'm kind of picturing that you're going to be on like that middle arena area looking up at Zeus, just like from the movie. And he'll just kind of have all of his guards kind of coming after you. You have to fight a certain amount of guards. Then Zeus himself will start throwing that lightning blade at you. And you have to kind of like defend against that. And then eventually you have to find a way to like hit him from all the way up there. Maybe you can like throw a projectile up at him or something, or solve puzzles to kind of find a way to hit him or something. I don't know exactly how it would go, just because I don't know how long it's going to take like the certain boss fight to go, because I don't want it to be like a 30-minute boss fight. Obviously it probably should be like 5 solid minutes, 5 to 8 minutes. I don't know. I don't really know how they separate it that way. I never really looked into that, but point is, don't want the boss fight to be super long, so I'm thinking just certain amount of guards will kind of come out. You have to fight the certain amount of guards, and then you have to, Zeus will start attacking, and then you have to find a way to basically hit him. And then that will kind of like knock a heart down. Then you do the same thing, fight a certain amount of guards. Zeus will become open to or vulnerable to be hit, and then you have to hit him. You know what I mean? Just kind of following that process, just because that's kind of how I pictured it when I was watching the movie, when I was kind of like thinking of ways of how I would do this. This is kind of how I pictured it. So, again, part 2, you play as Thor, Valkyrie, Jane Foster, and Korg, and the objective is to defeat Zeus. Then, part 3 is the ending, of course, the Eternity ending, looking for Eternity, where you play as Thor, again, Love and Thunder outfit, and Jane Foster in her Love and Thunder outfit, and the objective here is to have a boss fight with Gore, the God Butcher. So, I mean, everybody saw this coming, because this is kind of the end of the movie, right? So, they're in like this, almost like Chamber of Secrets looking area, I kind of thought of when I first saw it, and they're looking to try and get to Eternity, and Gore's there. He's got, his shadow monsters, and he's got his shadow weapons and his swords and things. And, you just play as Thor and Jane Foster, and the goal is to just defeat Gore. You should have a boss fight with him in this, like, little, like, temple area kind of thing in front of Eternity, sort of. So, again, I'm thinking this is going to be a very standard boss fight, similar to the Zeus boss fight, where you're just going to be, there's going to be shadow monsters that come out, or shadow creatures that come out. You got to fight them. Then Gore becomes vulnerable. Maybe he'll start like running up to attack you, and then you just have to hit him once, and then he'll kind of like retreat back, send some more shadow monsters after you. Maybe you have to like help some of the kids, the Thor, I don't know, whatever, the Thor powered kids. I don't know. Very weird scene. To like help to kind of fight some of the other larger shadow beasts or shadow creatures, but I don't really know exactly how it would work. But regardless, the ending would be fighting Gore the God Butcher, and that's it. That's Thor: Love and Thunder. Now let's move on to the final movie. Now on to the final movie here, Black Panther: Wakanda Forever. I thought it was good. I thought it was, like, I don't want to be disrespectful, like, giving my opinion, because it was very emotional, it was very respectful, and I did appreciate that. There were really great moments of the movie, but overall, minus the awful tragedy of what had happened to Chadwick Boseman and everything, because they did a great job respecting him in all ways, but like disregarding that part of the movie, because I don't want to sound like awful or mean or anything, because I loved that part. I loved the respect that they gave him, the honoring that they gave him, and I loved some of the great scenes that they had to kind of show respect to him. But overall, my opinion, it was mid. It wasn't bad. It wasn't amazing. It was just like a mid Marvel movie. Again, disregarding the honor and respect that they gave to Chadwick Boseman, because they did a great job doing that. And I respect, the directors and all the actors and everybody who worked on the movie for doing that, because it just wouldn't feel right recasting Black Panther. That's not right, because Chadwick Boseman is Black Panther, So yeah, it was good. It was fine. It was much better. It was one of the better Marvel Phase 4 movies for sure. But anyways, Black Panther: Wakanda Forever. Let's get into the level. Part 1 is the scientist, right? Because that's kind of like what the beginning was kind of all about, was trying to get Riri Williams. So in this part, you'll be playing as Okoye in her civilian disguise, which was, they kept saying it was discreet. I didn't think it was that discreet. Like if I kind of saw like this very expensive looking car and these two people kind of with sunglasses and stuff like that, and be like, I don't know if that's exactly discreet. But anyways, Okoye, civilian disguise, Princess Shuri in her civilian disguise, and then also Riri Williams in her iron suit, Mark 1 iron suit, because she did kind of have a Mark 1, like a test suit, kind of. So you'll be playing as those three characters, and the objective there is to defeat Atuma, who comes up on the bridge there, and then defeat Namora. So basically in the scene, mostly everybody gets knocked out, but I wanted to kind of have it so that you could play as these three characters, because these three characters were all unique. So again, playing as Okoye, she was awake. Okoye was awake. Princess Shuri and Riri Williams were both knocked out, but I wanted you to play as them just because, again, like I said, unique. So you'll be on like the bridge from the movie. You'll be on this like bridge, and then Atuma and Namora show up. First boss fight is with Atuma, and then because Namora goes off to fight some cops or whatever, some police that are trying to stop them all. So you fight Atuma and like the Talokan guards, and fight all of them, defeat Atuma. Then you have a boss fight with Namora, just because both these characters were fairly prominent enemies in the movies, kind of like very very much secondary antagonists, but still I'd say very important, or not very, but still like important characters to the world of Talokan, or the Talokan world, and Namor and stuff like that. So there you go. That's part 1, is just the whole scientist scene. Then part 2 is the flood through Wakanda scene. You'll be playing as Okoye in her Wakandan kind of civilian outfit. 2 different outfits, by the way. The civilian disguise and the Wakanda kind of civilian outfit. And you'll also be playing as Nakia in her Wakanda outfit from that part of the movie. Again, this is going to... I actually didn't mention this, but this is going to be utilizing the LEGO Star Wars: The Clone Wars change character, change setting. I almost forgot what it was called. Mechanic from that game. So again, on one side, you'll be playing as Okoye, Wakandan outfit, Nakia, Wakandan outfit, and the objective is to help people escape the flood through Wakanda. So I'm kind of picturing maybe you have like 5 characters that you have, or 5 like civilian characters you have to save in different areas of Wakanda, and you just kind of be running through, trying to escape the flood, trying to help people get to higher ground, stuff like that. And then on the other side, you'll be playing as M'Baku, and the objective there is to defeat Namor. So in the movie, M'Baku tries to go after Namor, which is ends quickly because his weapon gets destroyed, and then he gets punched super hard, and then he's out like a light. So why not turn that into a boss fight? Because it's a little more interesting. So as M'Baku, just M'Baku, you'll be fighting off the Talokan guards, and you'll be having a boss fight with Namor on like that little beach area, that little beach side. So that'll be kind of fun. And then that's part 2. Part 3 is the Black Panther, of course. This is the ending part. So this will also be using the LEGO Star Wars: The Skywalker Saga not Skywalker Saga, Clone Wars. Have I been saying Skywalker Saga the whole time? I meant Clone Wars. LEGO Star Wars: The Clone Wars change character, change setting mechanic, not Skywalker Saga. I hope I didn't say that the whole time. Anyways, from Clone Wars, the Clone Wars game. And on one side, you'll be playing as Princess Shuri in her Black Panther outfit, and the objective there is to defeat Namor, of course, on the beach. Near the crash site on the beach, you'll be fighting Namor. And then on the other side, you'll be playing as M'Baku, Okoye in her Midnight Angel armor, Ironheart, kind of Mark 1. I just called it Mark 1 because I really didn't know what to call it, but Ironheart Mark 1, and then also Nakia in her Final Battle outfit. And then on that side, you'll be trying to defend that like water ship kind of thing, whatever that was, barge, I don't know, what you would want to call, like Wakandan water ship, I don't know. And I don't know if it specifically had a name or nothing that I can remember from the movie, but so yeah, again, one side you'll just be playing as Black Panther, and you'll be fighting off Namor, on that beach. He won't be flying or anything, you'll just be on the ground, and you'll be very, very long, kind of like boss fight where you have to kind of like defend, and you have to attack and find like certain ways, certain points when you can fight him off, and certain points you have to kind of like back off and defend yourself. And then again, on the other side, you'll be playing as, sorry, I just bumped the mic, all 4 of these other characters. And with that, you have to go and defend that water carrier while the Talokan soldiers are climbing up. And like Atuma's there, and Namora's there. So, yeah, that's basically the end there. And that is Wakanda Forever. That's Phase 4, folks. So I'm looking at the timestamps, and I think this video is going to be like 40 minutes long. So I apologize for that. I haven't made one of these in a while, so I didn't really know exactly how I used to make them, like the style that I went with. But regardless, this seemingly is going to be longer than most of the idea videos. So, yeah, there you go. I gotta make these shorter. They take so long to make, but they're kind of I'm kind of liking them. I hope I just don't get burnt out of them again. Anyways, yeah. So that is Phase 4. The video finally came out. I'm finally done with it, and yeah, that's it for Marvel for a little while now. Like probably till the end of the year, maybe if I do like the Disney Plus shows for 2023, maybe. But that is it for Marvel for a while, for a long while. When it comes to idea videos, that is. I'm done with that because I just finished Phase 4. And then I'll probably be working on some Star Wars video, like the next idea videos. If I continue to kind of do some more of these, will probably be Star Wars ones, just because, why not? I still have some Star Wars ones left over that I could probably use, or Star Wars ideas that I could use to make videos on. But yeah, there you have it. So if you enjoyed that video, if you liked my Phase 4 level ideas, please comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys later. I will see you guys later.